You have to start building legacy right now. As long as you keep thinking you're deficient, you'll never make any progress.
We shall never have any more time. We have, and we have always had, all the time there is. Arnold Bennett. Well said.
Every single champion is the same as every ordinary person. The only differential is that they show up to the event every single day. They see failure as a learning curve. They welcome failure.
You had to learn the hard way. It wasn't the fact that you got disciplined perhaps by your parents, but the world disciplines you more. That's what makes it beautiful. Hard times sometimes can be the best times. Why? Because you're going to build up something. You're going to build up that grit. You're going to build up that tenacity. You're going to have a better understanding. You got to know what direction you're going, and sometimes you may not even know. Sometimes people hate to be wrong because they feel that they're always right.
When you go to God and ask God to give you a cake, God doesn't give you a cake. God gives you eggs on Monday. He gives you flour on Tuesday. He gives you milk on Wednesday, and he gives you some sugar on Thursday. And you go to God and say, hey, God, what's up? I asked for some cake. And God said, look, I gave you eggs on Monday. I gave you flour on Tuesday. I gave you milk on Wednesday. I gave you some sugar on Thursday. And you're saying, God, no, I want cake. But what you don't realize is God did give you cake. But God doesn't give you a finished product. God just gives you the ingredients that you have to work. And when you look at your life right now, what you got to realize is that you don't have a finished product. What you have is ingredients, and it is your responsibility to work the ingredients that you have to make the cake that you really want. Too many people are saying, when am I going to get my cake? And God is saying, hey, look what's in your hand. You got enough milk. You got the eggs. You got the sugar. You got the flour. It's your responsibility now to mix the things in your life together to produce the legacy that you really want.
This guy wasn't doing well, and he wanted to have some advice for me, and I knew he had a television set, and I knew he watched a lot of television. I said, how much did that television set cost you? He said, about $400. I said, no, you're mistaken. He said, no, this television set cost me $400. I said, well, that's to buy it. To watch it, I'm sure it's costing you about $40,000 a year to watch it.
Stop watching in prime time. Stop watching in prime time. Start living in prime time. Prime time is 7 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when all of America is watching other people making money, having fun in their professions.
When it comes to legacy, you have to recognize that you have enough right now to build the legacy that you really want. Oh, I know you're looking at your life and saying, oh, this is not much. And I know you're looking at everything and you're waiting for something to happen. But I promise right now, you have enough wisdom to build legacy. Right now, you have enough gifting to build legacy. Right now, you have enough relationships to build legacy. Right now, you have enough energy to build legacy. Right now, you have enough money to build legacy. And you can't wait around and hope and wait for the day everything comes together.
So if you want to watch other people making money, having fun in their professions, which gets their ratings up so they make more money, go ahead and do things that are tension relieving instead of goal achieving. But if you want to live that kind of life in prime time, right in prime time, intimacy in prime time, talking with your children in prime time, going to ethnic restaurants in prime time, living and doing in prime time instead of unhooking and tension relieving. Every book I've written has been written, all 17 books have been written in 7 to 11 p.m. weekly and on Saturday. Why? Because I'm earning money the rest of the time and I don't have time to write a book except in prime time. So stop watching, use the television set as an appliance. It has doors on it. Close the doors and use it like an iron. When you need to iron your clothes, bring out the TV set.
My biggest tip would probably be an area that I struggle in a lot. 15 years ago, I heard someone say that never handle the items in your inbox more than one time.
It's been tough. It's been hard. I've had those days where I just said, I can't take it anymore. I had those days where I cried out. I didn't think no one was listening. Well, it's been tough. It's been so tough, but I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I'm still fighting, but most importantly, I'm still learning. I'm learning through the hardship. I'm learning through the tough time. I'm learning through the losses. I'm learning because that's what life is about. Do we fall down and stay down, or do we lift each other up and carry on? That is what we do. This is who we are. We are all students of life.
I knew someone was better than me. There's more talented people than me, probably more talented than you. But like my dad said, the best ability is availability. You might outwork me for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, but you ain't gonna beat me over a year. You can't outwork me over 2 years. You aren't gonna outwork me over 3 years. I'm gonna get you eventually. You might think I'm knocked out, I just keep coming. I'm too damn tough to give up.
And it's not just anything. It's giving all of you. It is dedicating every second of the day to being one step closer to achieving your goals. One step closer to success. Your problem is that you want to achieve something, but you don't want to work for it.
Like, you just thought because you grew up in this so-called hood, 2-bedroom home, 14 people, like the only thing you really wanted was the NFL. That's it. I'm like, man, you limited God to that? Like, life holds no substance, no value? Like, efficient but not effective? I did things right, but I never did the right thing? And now the thing I placed my identity in, now it's gone. That's why I laugh at people when they say, man, if I could just get this, I'll be. Man, if I could just get this position, I'll be. Woo! Man, if I could just get this amount of money, I'll be. I'm like, woo. But what happens even if you get it or you don't get it? What happens when God says yes and no?
Never forget, no matter how much you think you know, you never know enough. Because if you're living, you're learning. Remember that you're living, you're learning, you're growing. Through the good times and the bad time. You're learning something unique and special about you every day of your life. And that's what makes it special. I'm learning. You're probably thinking that this ain't got nothing to do with me. It's got everything to do with you. Because maybe you got the right things happening right now for you, but to your right, that guy over there, he ain't living so well, but to learning something. Because if the tables were turned, could you deal with it? Could you handle that stress?
You want to be successful, but you are not willing to work for it. You want it, but you don't want it enough to start right away and make the changes you need to get things done. When you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, that's when you will have victory. But long as you prefer to party or sleep a couple of more hours, instead of working your butt off every day, then success is far from you. Most people prefer to party. They prefer to sleep. And when you do what most people do, you can't expect to have a different result. You get what everyone else gets. So if you want to achieve something, this is the moment when you have the opportunity to separate yourself.
Like, do you have the ability to accept what you don't understand? Can you still see God's plan when it didn't go the way that you thought it would go? Can you handle when things get off course? I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, like, man, I'm 8 games away and God is redirecting me. And I'm like, God, just let me get to the NFL, then redirect me. Like, let me get the contract, then redirect me so I can help my family. And God's like, no, son, I need you to really go that way. And I'm like, you sure? Like, man, I need to go this way. He's like, no, I need you to go this way. I got something greater for you. Now, it might take a little longer to manifest, but I got something even sweeter. Like, I got something more fulfilling. I got something more rewarding. I got something, son, that's going to carry you for the rest of your life. Like, it's an amazing thing. I knew this was what I was supposed to be doing when one day I'm backstage and I got the same feeling that I got when I used to be in the tunnel before I was running out of Neyland Stadium. I said, thank you, God. And so now I live my life a certain type of way according to what God has done.
Could you handle that poverty? How long have you been homeless? How long have you been hungry? How long have you not had clothes on your back? How long have you been out of a job? Does your family walk out on you? Did your father walk out on you? Did your mother walk out on you? Are you going through a bad relationship? Have you lost your way? This is what you're learning right now. Sometimes we all got to learn the hard way. How many times as a child you heard your mother and father tell you not to do something, but you did it anyway?